All right, y'all. Welcome back. Appalachian Trail Summer 2025. Today is day number 24, and I will just go ahead and make day 24 its own episode. I am currently on the side trail that I took out on day 23 to meet up with Stephanie in the van, and just had a total regroup last night, which was fantastic. Got all dried out, got all repacked, had a good meal, got a shower, saw some fireworks for the 4th of July, and it was amazing. So I have a refreshed mind and body heading into today's 10-mile hike and the next stretch of the Whites. I was able to push out my reservations only one day. So I'm technically not going to be getting a full day off, but that's okay, because just being able to get a shower and kind of regroup, and being able to push those out at least one day makes all the difference. So regrouped on the huts, had a good meal, got refreshed, and now I am working on a 10-mile day down to Crawford Notch. And this is a fairly non-technical section of the Whites for this 10-mile day. So we're looking at a whopping 995 feet of ascent and 1,700 feet of descent down to Crawford Notch. I will meet up with Stephanie in the van again tonight, and then tomorrow I will be headed up to Mitzpah Hut. And then, so for after tonight, the next 3 nights are going to be out on trail in the huts. So the first hut I will hit is Mitzpah Hut. The second hut will be Lake of the Clouds, which is Mount Washington. And then the third hut I will hit will be Madison. And then after Madison, it will be down to the Pinkham Notch area. And then I will meet up with the van again and Stephanie at Pinkham Notch. And then from there, the final leg of the Whites. But for now, I'm not going to look that far ahead because you never know. But for now, we have a bright, sunny day today. The weather says no rain in the forecast, but if you listen to the last episode, that can change quickly up here in the Whites. So I am working my way back to the Appalachian Trail, and I'll be back soon. All right, y'all, I am back. I am actually in the van. We are at a campground very close to Crawford Notch, where I got off the trail today. And today was a great day of hiking, or I should say another great day of hiking. After I talked to you guys earlier, I made it back to the Appalachian Trail, and the trail was pristine, beautiful, good old trail for at least 2 or 3 miles. And then there were some bog bridges and the rocks and roots came, but it wasn't that much. It was actually really, really nice terrain. There was a beautiful bridge, went over the Pemigewasset River. And, it was just one of those days where you could stride out and move your legs along the trail. And then I ran back into the gentleman that I talked to you about the other day. He has been out section hiking the trail since 1973, and ran into him and his hiking partner. and a couple girls that they had met that had been out hiking um, the Pimmy Loop, and they were finishing their hike, and we all just kind of ended the hike together, talking and learning about each other and telling stories like you do on the trail. So day number 24, 10 miles, went up the trail, the side trail that I took yesterday. I think it was a 2.5 mile side trail, and then 7.5 miles or so of the Appalachian Trail down to Crawford Notch. And the weather was pristine. It was just one of those hiking days where you were sweating, but you really couldn't tell. You didn't feel like you were sweating. There was a breeze. It was nice terrain. And that is how today ended out. And then tomorrow, for the next 3 days, I am going to be doing the presidential range of the White Mountains. So tomorrow, I'm going to be going up to Mitzvah Hut. And then the next day over to Lake of the Clouds, which is basically at a mile down from the top of Mount Washington, the second highest point on the Appalachian Trail. The first highest point on the Appalachian Trail is actually Klingman's Dome. So this is the second highest point. And then on day number 3, I will be going over to Madison Hut and then out and down to the Pinkham Notch area. And there is a reroute of the trail there once you get down to Pinkham Notch, and I will figure out what I am doing from there. So headed out for the next 3 days of hiking, 3 days of huts, 3 days of enjoying the presidential range of the Appalachian Trail, and then we will move on from there. So probably for the podcast purposes, I will combine those 3 days like I did the previous episode. So y'all, appreciate you continuing to listen. A lot of you are reaching out to me and sending me messages and letting me know you're praying for me and all those wonderful things. And I truly appreciate it. So until the next episode, thanks for listening. Be safe out there and happy section hiking.